The K7 is housed in a rather large box with an outline of the K7 up front. The package features the K7 amplifier, Type-C to Type-C with a Type-A adapter, a 12-volt power supply, the Bluetooth antenna, a mic and headphone splitter, and some paperwork. The Fosi K7 features an XMOS XU208 USB chipset, an AKM4493 SEQ DAC chipset, QCC3031 Bluetooth chipset, and a TPA6120 amplifier. It has a Bluetooth version of 5.0 and can transmit SBC, AAC, aptX, aptX HD, and aptX LL with a distance of less than or equal to 13 meters. It has an input voltage and current of DC 12 volts and 2 amps. The Fosi K7 is built from an aluminum alloy with plastic buttons, knobs, and connectors. On top, we can find the bulk of the K7's interface. This features the headphone and microphone volume knob that also acts as a gain switch and mute button for the microphone. We can also find the 1.5-inch OLED screen that we will be taking a deeper look at into the center of the device. Below that, we can find the on and off button that doubles as the UAC switch, the change input button, the change output button, the bypass EQ button, and the tone/mic button to change the EQ values or microphone volume depending on the setting. In front, we can find the 3.5mm microphone input, 3.5mm headphone jack, and 4.4mm headphone jack. At the back, we can find the RCA out, the Bluetooth jack slot for the antennae, coaxial input, optical in, USB-C for data, and 12-volt power input. At the bottom, we can find the rubber stoppers. Let's talk about the OLED screen, which displays a lot of information and features that the K7 has. The K7 can seamlessly change from UAC 1.0 and UAC 2.0. UAC 1.0 allows for microphone input and support for devices like the Nintendo Switch, but it does not display the current file decoding. UAC 2.0, on the other hand, displays what file is being played from 4 to 4.1 kHz all the way to DSD256. You can also change between USB, Bluetooth, coaxial, and optical inputs. As for outputs, you can change between RCA and headphone outputs. The bypass button enables or disables the EQ settings that you have applied. The tone/mic button allows for you to change between changing the bass or treble EQ settings or the microphone volume. The EQ feature of the K7 is very simple, as all you need to do is disable bypass and press the tone/mic button. The bass and treble settings will then appear, where you can adjust the values from -12 to +12 for the bass and -6 to +6 for the treble. The bass has a far more gradual difference compared to the treble and seems to have an additional shelf at 150 Hz. The K7 has a maximum rated output of 600 mW on 3.5mm and 2100 mW or 2.1 watts on 4.4mm balanced. The RCA output has an output level of less than or equal to 2 VRMS. The microphone specifications were not stated in the spec sheet, unfortunately. So let's finally talk about my personal experience with the Fosi K7. And despite being advertised as a gaming amplifier, I honestly think there's not a lot of gaming features here, because you see there's really no app support here. There's nothing that you can change the spatiality or 3Dness of the sound of the amplifier. There are no like app EQs that you can change, the individual parametric EQ, all of those features that you often see in amplifiers. There isn't even RGB. There's this really nice OLED screen in the middle, but I don't count this as RGB. However, I don't think that makes it a bad amp, because this is genuinely one of the most practical amplifiers that I have ever used. And I would say that this is more of a hi-fi amp with some gaming features that ends up making it a really practical device, like kind of like a gaming laptop basically. And let me explain why. First and foremost, obviously that mic support. And I'm a little bit torn here, because a part of me understands that external mics are still very, very important to a lot of people. However, practically speaking, headsets are just more space efficient, more practical in terms of just having one device to both have your sound and for you to be able to speak out of. And this is one of the few amplifiers that I have tried, and probably the only amplifier that I've tried, that combines really, really powerful driving power and 4.4 jack. Don't forget the 4.4 jack and support for the mic input. And I really, really love it because it's legitimately just plug and play. It comes with its own splitter. I don't have it here. I showed it to you earlier. But it comes with its own splitter. So if you have a headset that's 3.5 millimeter, just plug it in, no problem, straight on the go. Fortunately, a lot of microphones nowadays are USB, and even a lot of headphones are now USB, so usage will definitely vary depending on the user. But for me personally, especially as someone who really still values headsets or just earphones with built-in mics, this is a really, really nice addition. Another one, the Bluetooth performance of this is just pretty phenomenal. I've been seeing reviews about the Bluetooth connection of the K7 to not be that good. Maybe it's their device, but I did not find any issues with my particular unit or my particular Bluetooth experience. I was able to use this with gaming pretty easily. No latency issues, at least nothing that I can clearly distinguish. Obviously, in really tight or really focused scenarios, you will sense a slight delay compared to just, plugging in wired, but that's a convenience feature, not necessarily a pure gaming feature. But you can use this on Bluetooth and not really have much problems, just as long as your Bluetooth device, either the adapter that you use to connect to your PC or the built-in Bluetooth of your personal device, does work properly. And come on, we gotta talk about that OLED screen. I've talked about it enough on the previous section, but I just genuinely love the scriptedness and the informativeness of the OLED screen. There's just so much that you can see that no other amplifier has. However, I do have a couple of nitpicks about the K7, particularly this could be my personal case. I haven't seen other people talk about it, but in my use case, I started to switch between songs on an app called Music.ly, and I think even Spotify to some degree, and there would be a very clear delay with a slight ticking sound. I'm not sure if that's because of the USB or because of Music.ly or because of the K7, but it is something that I experienced on, the K7 and nothing else. Not even the SK02 has that. Another one, UAC 2.0 not supporting microphone. And I know this is a limitation of tech. And I know that UAC 1.0 is like the ideal one for supporting like older devices, legacy devices, and stuff like that. And I know that something like the Do4X of SimGot supports microphone only on the UAC 1.0 and not really that consistent either. But I did search that UAC 2.0 should also support microphones, so I don't know what's up with that. Could be a tech limitation, just a small nitpick. And I guess like really small nitpicks, you can't really hear it right now, but there's no sound, but the buttons are a little bit shaky, and that just really doesn't feel good. I really don't think you can even hear that anymore because of my microphone, but like just slightly tapping this, it feels very shaky and does not feel very good. But the rest of the build of the amplifier feels really good. And now let's talk about the sound of the K7, because quite frankly, that's probably one of the most important things that a lot of people value about the K7. And to put it simply, it is a blank canvas that makes the best out of whatever headphones or IEM throw this in. Seriously, I don't know how best to explain it than just saying that the K7 is a type of amplifier that no matter what you throw in, literally no matter what, because of the 2100 milliwatt on each channel power, you are going to get the best out of your headphones or IEMs. And I know it has an AK chip. I know that there's a stigma about AK chips. It's not the DAC, it's the amplifier. And this thing is just really clean sounding. It's perfect for basically every single IEM and headphone that I threw it in, from the likes of these guys, especially the brighter Audio Technica, even the darker and warmer Sivga SV021 Robin. I did not have any issues. The tiniest teensy-weensy issue is the noise is slightly audible on 4.4 with really noisy headphones or IEMs, but hey, that's power for you. You can't get them all. You literally can't get the best power, or like 2100 milliwatts of power at this price range without having a little bit of sacrifice. Thankfully, it's not that bad, and I still find that it's very much tolerable, even for someone who's kind of sensitive to noise, like me. So that's my sound impressions of the K7. It's just a blank canvas. It emphasizes everything that makes the headphones or the IEMs you're using is good. Another thing I want to talk about, the EQ. Pretty good. I wouldn't use it as much unless I really want to, but honestly, the values that they had, the Q values and like the shelf, is just pretty good for like quick bass or treble boosts. The treble isn't as grand as the bass in terms of changes, but hey, that is perfectly justified. So now I want to compare this to other gaming amplifiers, but unfortunately, there's really not a lot that I've tried for gaming amplifiers. But I do have one that has been in my heart for a very long time, which is the Fosi SK02. And before the K7, the SK02 was my GOAT. Literally, I cannot shield this enough, and I still can't shield it enough. For the price, crazy. But comparing it to the K7 is like comparing a Toyota Corolla with a Toyota Supra, right? Completely different use cases. One is oriented to value, one is oriented for performance and features, but both work really well for what they want to do. Like the SK02 genuinely is one of the best budget desktop amplifiers you can have, obviously with the limitations that, you know, it's not as feature rich as something like the K7, but considering that this is just $70 something, you get a lot of power, you get a pretty descriptive feature set if you've seen my review, and just overall, it's just a very functional device. Now, obviously, we do a jump up to the K7, and you get cool knobs, you get an OLED screen, you got a lot of buttons, you get that Bluetooth thing, but, you know, it's still just a fundamentally good DAC, or a fundamentally good amplifier that the Fosi SK02 achieved. It just so happens that the K7 is a fundamentally more feature-rich device. And you would get that because you want to get more of those features, and you'd get this if you just want powerful, good sound. So, to finally conclude with my thoughts, the K7 achieves being more than just a gaming amp. Quite frankly, I really don't want to even consider it as a gaming amp, because it is just a very practical, versatile, and powerful amplifier that is a blank slate for your headphones. There is just so much to love about the K7 and very little to hate. I cannot think of a single reason that would make it a game breaker for anyone that's just looking for a good amplifier. But if you are looking for a good, or well, if you're looking for a gaming amplifier specifically, this might not be the, I guess, most feature-rich for you. If you care about EQ profiles and heavy processed staging to make your thing sound more immersive, or microphone features for like adding special effects and noise cancelling and all of that, this is not for you. But if you are looking for a very powerful audiophile grade gaming amplifier, I cannot recommend the K7 enough. So that is my Fosi K7 review. At the time of talking about this, it's currently still on Kickstarter. It's priced at around $150-ish. I cannot confirm or deny that. It might have changed because there's different tiers of it. There's like a buy one take one, but do check out the Kickstarter if you are interested in this, or just, you know, just wait for more reviews. But that's the review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, consider giving this a like. If you want to see more of my content, consider subscribing, join the Discord, join Audio Notions. Check out Audio Notions, join the Discord. I think I said that twice. And with that, will be audio out.